what is showing signs of life for you?
Oh, showing signs of, eventually the diet situation has been outed and has been seen for what it is, which is a load of rubbish.
Clean eating
this is clean eating.
Is damaging everyone's
It's
health.
damaging everyone's health. It's damaging the calcium in young people's bones. You know, they're going off dairy, they're going off this, they're going off that. And when I was growing up, I mean, my grandfather had a what was called a kitchen garden down in Kerry, in which he grew everything. So I grew up sort of eating like vegetables and fruit and all that kind of, straight from the garden. So that to me is clean eating, okay? But all this, you know, depriving yourself of this and that and the other is rubbish. It doesn't work anyway, because diets never work. Yeah, they never work. They should be thrown out.
Obviously, Jackie, it puts huge... It seems to be putting huge pressure on, I guess, young women particularly.
It is putting,
When you were in the modelling scene, was there a lot of pressure on ye weight-wise and all that?
Not really. When I was modelling, a size 10 or 12 was like the normal size. Okay, now it's an 8 and below is the normal size. Because if you look at any of the fashion sites, you know, online, they always say the model is, you know, 5'8" and she's wearing a size 8. That's what they say. So that now is the norm. So it's like 2 sizes below what it used to be regarded as normal.
Okay.
And so and there's nobody who's a regular size 8 unless you're 14 or 15. You know, it takes an awful lot of deprivation to become a size 8, I reckon, for your regular woman.
Emma, you do modelling as well. You still do modelling?
Oh, no, not really anymore, but I definitely had a fair old stint at it for a while. Yeah. And I would say, I completely agree with you. I think food is just, we have such a warped relationship with food, like so many of us. I think particularly women all over the place, but in this country. And
in this country particularly, you think?
Yeah, I'll come to that in a moment. But I just think this you should just have kind of like a balanced and reasonable and like kind of healthy outlook to like what you eat, and none of this kind of extreme faddish behavior. And there's this whole kind of, I guess, like culture of like really like policing your diet and like being really
regulating. You speak as someone who doesn't do that. You've never been...
not anymore, but I would say like growing up here, the pressure to be like very, very thin was not something like I've experienced in any of the other places that I've lived. Yeah. And I wouldn't say I had like a full-on eating disorder, but I had like a very, very unhealthy relationship with food for years.
And because of the context of Ireland.
Very much to be, yeah, absolutely. And also like
So can I ask you, just roughly speaking, what was your unhealthy relationship with food?
So it was just, I was like, I can never consume more than 1,500 calories a day. And then that became like very like obsessive. So I couldn't like eat out, or I couldn't eat at a friend's house. I couldn't eat anywhere where I basically wasn't knowing and controlling like how many calories were in the food. And I got really skinny and I got lots of compliments and everyone was like, oh, you look great. Yeah. But I would say it's because I'm half Nigerian and I have quite a Nigerian shape. Like I have like a big bum and I have thighs. And I didn't even know growing up, because there was no other black people around, I didn't know that was like a thing. I was just like, why am I so fat, basically? And like I wasn't fat. I was just kind of curvy in that way. Yeah. And so I feel like I wanted to kind of starve that away to be like less conspicuous. I really wanted that gap between my thighs. I was like obsessed with achieving that, and that's just never going to happen because my body's not that shape, and nor would I want it to be. But yeah, I do think that clean eating, I think a lot of these things are masking people that have unhealthy relationships with food and possibly have something verging on eating disorders.
And you would say you were verging on one?
Yeah, definitely,
okay. Alison, is this a thing in Ireland? Like, are all young women, do they have unhealthy relationships with food, and is there all this pressure, particularly here, do you think?
Yeah, I thought you were going to ask the question, is this a thing for you? And I was going to go, look at me, Brendan. Does it look like a thing for me? I don't know, like, to be honest with you, I think there is a warped relationship. I have such a warped relationship with food. If I feel an emotion, I get a takeaway. That's what I'm like, do you know? And it's just one of the, I have to, like, I'm not going to pretend, I find nothing more boring than listening to someone talk about their diet. Mm-hmm. Like, it's sad. Yeah, it's an absolute filler type of, it's like talking about the weather. I try to keep away from those conversations because I can't talk. Like, do you know, it's my version of clean eating now is a smoothie with a snack box, and that's it.
But you go through, the diet industry is a huge industry, and it's very much a moneyed industry, and it's being propagated a lot by so-called celebrities who are writing books, and of course food and cooking is the new sex, as you well know. So it's just a thing at the moment, and it's a huge industry.
Jackie,
a lot of people making a lot of money.
I want to move on because I want to get in.